cutest exotic animals you can actually own. Do you want to be another boring pet owner? Or are you looking to turn a few heads on your next morning stroll with your newest animal companion? Well, you could brave the mission and opt for a Bengal tiger like Mike Tyson. But a full-grown wildcat is quite a piece of work, and not exactly what we had in mind for today's list. We were thinking a little more cute and exotic, like the playful chinchilla, or the fluffy fennec fox, perhaps even a goofy crested gecko, or a dog-sized rodent, like the Australian capybara. With a little extra research and work, these bizarre and adorable animals could realistically become your next pet. So, if you're looking to turn a few heads and melt a few hearts with your newest, unusual animal friend, stay tuned as we count down our top 10 picks for the cutest exotic animals you can actually own as pets. Oh, and if you thought crabs couldn't be sweet, then stay tuned for number 1, because this unique and exotic critter is sure to make your aquarium a lot cuter. Okay, let's get started. 10. The capybara. On first sight, you may confuse this large cuteness for one big guinea pig, and you'd actually be right. The South American capybara is one of the largest rodents in the world. It can weigh up to 140 pounds. Not to worry, you won't be needing a huge cage, because capybaras are semi-aquatic rodents. So, scratch the dog-sized hamster wheel off your list, because this animal definitely needs access to a body of water in order to swim around, like your pool. Although mostly adorable and sweet, capybaras can be a challenging pet, especially because they're extremely social animals. So, if you're planning on owning one, it's best to make room for a couple more. This rodent is legal to own in most parts of the world, although some countries and states may require a separate license. But those cute and furry snouts are well worth the extra paperwork. 9. The serval. Now, we can't all adopt a royal Bengal tiger as Mike Tyson once did, but most cat lovers would surely love to settle for this wild beauty. Servals can even be litter trained if you start early enough.
Oh, you can't roll over.
These medium-sized African cats are accustomed to warm climates and wide open spaces. For you pet owners, it means you'll need a moderate amount of space for your exotic cat to feel at home. Servals require lots of daily exercise and love to play, so a spacious garden is probably your best bet. 8. The fennec fox. As if foxes weren't cute enough, we give you the fennec fox.
Have a look at those ears. They are phenomenal.
These foxes come from the African continent and are the smallest breed of fox in the world, only reaching about 4 pounds when fully grown. But the same cannot be said about the size of those adorable ears. If you never quite figured out whether you're a cat or a dog person, the fennec fox may become your favorite four-legged companion.
Tink, what are you doing? Tink.
This fox's behavior can best be described as a crossway between that of a dog and a cat. They're usually playful and energetic, like a dog, but just as equally independent, like a cat, so you'll be fine leaving them home alone for a few hours. What sets them apart, though, is that they don't really favor dog nor cat toys. This exotic animal can live up to 15 years and is legal to own in most of America, with the exception of a few states. But hey, if you're dying to own one, you can always just move to another state.
Oh my god.
7. Box turtles. Although they can be tricky to care for, box turtles make some cute and seriously long-term reptilian companions. Like most turtles, they carry their homes on their backs, and this species can live for up to 50 years, which may seem like a lot for a household pet, but is laughable when compared to Jonathan, the world's oldest turtle at 189 years old. Box turtles like to soak in water from time to time to rehydrate and cool down. But that doesn't necessarily make them pro swimmers. In fact, they're actually land turtles, and look pretty clumsy while doing it. So, despite their sharp beaks, rough, scaly skin, and tiny pointed claws, a box turtle can make a pretty darn cute addition to your terrarium. 6. the chinchilla. From hamsters to gerbils, rodents have a reputation as one of the cutest household pets. But on the more exotic end of the spectrum, and perhaps 10 times more adorable, is the chinchilla. The South American chinchilla can bond very closely with its caretaker, but, unfortunately, is one of the more destructive rodents. That's not to say they're dangerous or anything, they just don't like to be cuddled.
No. Ow, ow, ow! You bit me hard!
At least not nearly as much as they love to run around and play. They're quite active and get bored pretty easily. So you'll need more than a plain old hamster wheel to keep these little guys busy. But we're sure you'll agree, those gigantic ears and that fluffy tail are well worth the extra effort. 5. The sugar glider. If you've ever wondered what it's like to own a flying squirrel, then you should purchase a sugar glider. While squirrels can't be domesticated, sugar gliders are the next best thing and, many would agree, a lot cuter. Just look at those eyes. Although the two look similar, sugar gliders are actually part of the marsupial family, just like kangaroos. The female's glider doubles as a pouch, where they raise their young until they're old enough to fly off. I mean, glide off on their own. If you're wondering where they got the name, it's because they love to eat almost anything that is sweet, especially fresh fruit and vegetables. The best part about these Australian natives, that they love play dates with their caregivers and get along great with other animals. 4. The kinkajou. Kinkajous are small, golden brown honey bears that are native to rainforests and have become increasingly popular as pets. Celebrities, such as Paris Hilton, is known to own a kinkajou and a sugar glider. But the rich and famous aren't the only ones who find these animals adorable.
No, don't eat that! No! Take it, just grab it.
Making the decision to care for a kinkajou isn't to be taken lightly though, as these nocturnal animals like to get into things and can be pretty messy. 3. The crested gecko. Creepy, crawly, but still kind of cute, despite their preferred diet of crickets and mealworms. The crested gecko has a pretty goofy smile and tiny hands. Just look at them, they're so tiny. And the eyes? Well, we'll leave it up to you to decide. But one thing's for sure, the crested gecko is one of the cutest reptiles you can own. Their low maintenance care and funny personalities have made them extremely popular pets. Because they're so simple to care for, crested geckos make excellent pets for kids and beginner reptile parents. It is now time for today's subscriber pick. We asked our subscribers to send in their pictures for their cutest exotic animals, and today's thumbnail pick was sent to us by a subscriber wondering about this incredible picture of a small monkey hanging with a human finger. So, we looked into it, and it turns out that it's a finger monkey, pygmy marmoset. That is the smallest primate in the world, very close to our number 2 pick for the list. Their babies are 5 to 6 inches tall in length and weighs around 100 grams. These smallest monkeys are indeed the cutest animals in today's video, but we cannot include them in our list because they are illegal to own in most parts of the world. 2. The capuchin monkey. The cute capuchin monkey is a primate that is often seen in movies and television. It is famous for its small size and known for its playful, mischievous attitude. Remember Jack Sparrow's monkey in Pirates of the Caribbean? They are highly intelligent, territorial, and will live up to 40 years. That's 40 years of diapers, unless you can teach your monkey to use the toilet. 1. The hermit crab. If your definition of a pet is sweet and fluffy, then underwater crawlers probably aren't the first thing that come to mind. But here is one little critter that can make your aquarium just a little bit cuter. Not just for its bulging eyes, but because of its distinct personality. Unlike most crabs, hermits have a smaller, soft abdomen, which they adorably protect by living in an empty snail shell. They must continue to find larger shells as they grow in size. so the owners of these pets must provide progressively larger shells over their lifetime, creating a very special bond between caregiver and animal.
Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel, and for those of you that are new, welcome. So today's video is going to be on basic iguana care, which is why I have Arcadius out with me. We'll see how long he lasts here. He might get down and run on the floor. So I want to start off with just basic places to go and get good information. So Green Iguana Society is definitely one. They have all the information you could ever want for iguanas. I'll put their link in the description below. Also, Facebook groups are awesome. I'm a part of every Facebook group I could find for iguanas. So you can go and ask questions or search through posts that have already been posted. Super helpful finding out what kind of humidifiers people use, what kind of bulbs people use. Just super, super helpful. And then of course, like any animal, you need to think about, is it really the right animal for you? Because iguanas are basically like dogs that get about 6 foot and live about 20 years. and are arboreal and need lots of space. And they require a little more time as far as bonding goes than a dog would. Sometimes you'll get lucky. Arcadius is super social, total people person. I know a lot of other iguanas aren't as social as Arcadius is, and they take time to build a connection. So you need to have patience, have the time, have the money, and be committed. Because they live a long time as long as you're taking care of them right. Alright, so now getting into the technical stuff, we're going to start off with temperatures. They are a tropical species, so they do need warm temperatures. Their basking should be 90 to 95 degrees. A lot of people say low hundreds, so I think usually between like 90 and low hundreds is a pretty safe range for basking. Their ambient temperatures during the day, or like the temperatures in the rest of the enclosure, shouldn't be lower than 80 degrees. This provides a nice gradient for them, so if they get hot basking, they can get away from the heat and find the area that is most comfortable for them. They do need a day and night cycle, so I like to do 12 hours per day, 12 hours a night, and at night their temperature shouldn't go lower than 75 to 78. When they fall asleep, they are asleep. They're not going to wake up if they get too cold and move somewhere warm. So it's up to you as the iguana owner to make sure that the temperatures are right and that your iguana is not going to get too cold or too hot when they're sleeping. So heat sources I recommend, highly recommend ceramic heat emitters. That is what I use. I will put a link in the description below. I use a very high wattage, so it's not one that I can find in stores usually. I have to order one. Also, mercury vapor bulbs, they are UVB and heat combined. I'll talk about those more in a little bit. I highly do not recommend heat rocks. Please, 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 please. I said this in my myth and misconceptions video. Please do not get your reptiles heat rocks. They are basically just dangerous, shouldn't even be on the shelves anymore. And your iguanas and most lizards sense heat on their tops, not on their bellies. So when they're on a heat rock, all they know is that they are warm, but they don't know how warm, and this is how many lizards and iguanas get burned. He's peacing out, he's done with this video. He's like, done, bye. So going on to lights. The most important thing I think for iguanas is UVB. That is like the make it or break it for their care. And it's the thing that a lot of people don't provide for their iguanas. They need UVA and UVB. UVA encourages natural behaviors. UVB allows for the production of vitamin D3, which then absorbs calcium. So if there's no UVB, the iguana isn't making vitamin D3. If there's no vitamin D3, the iguana can't absorb calcium. This is how metabolic bone disease happens. And I will make a whole nother video on that later. But this is what Arcadius had when I got him because his previous owner did not give him a UVB bulb. The UVBs that I recommend, I use the Megure Mercury Vapor Bulb. I'll put a link in the description below because I get it on Amazon. And it is Amazon Prime. Also, Power Suns. I think that's what our zoo uses for their iguana. And a lot of people recommend an Arcadia bulb. No, my iguana was not named after that bulb. So I personally have not used an Arcadia. I think it was only tubes that you were able to get in the US. I think they have since now changed and you can get bulbs in the US now too. But I don't use tubes. And the Megure, Amazon Prime, another highly recommended one. Heat and UVB all in one. So another very, very important part of an iguana's care is humidity. A lot of captive iguanas suffer from dehydration because they are not getting adequate humidity. So you should be providing a bowl of water for them to drink from. Also, rigging up a humidifier is a really good way to up their humidity. So I showed you guys in my iguana enclosure tour how I did that. I just have a humidifier with a mask from a hospital and tubing, and it runs into the enclosure. My humidifier doesn't work anymore, so I'm in the process of getting him a new one. I'm getting one that a lot of iguana owners recommended in the Facebook groups, so I'll let you guys know how that works out for me. So their humidity should be between 65 and 75%. It's pretty high up there, but if you get a hydrometer and a really good humidifier, it's totally achievable. Now going on to their enclosure. So they get pretty big. The smallest an enclosure should be for your iguana is 6 foot. Arcadius's enclosure is currently 6 foot tall. A baby iguana can be kept in a 55 gallon until about 1 year. That's what I do keep him in when I go home, because he's only in it for maybe a week or two. He is 2 years old, but he was stunted because of his metabolic bone disease, so he's about the size of a 1-year-old. So that 55 gallon is totally acceptable for him, considering he's only in it for like a week when I go home to visit. Yeah, so 55 gallon minimum for baby iguanas, and after they get a year old they need a bigger enclosure. You also want to provide things for them to climb on because they are arboreal, which means they spend most of their time in the trees. So branches, driftwood, a lot of people use cat trees. Arcadius has a lot of ramps because he cannot climb very well. So we had to kind of ditch the whole branches and driftwood idea to make it handicap accessible. You also want to provide a tub of water for them to poop in. Iguanas naturally want to poop in the water. You also want to provide hiding areas for baby iguanas. When they get older, it's not quite as necessary. I did show you in the iguana enclosure tour that I do have areas for him to hide or feel like he is hidden from public view by using fake plants and leaves. Next up is diet. This is another important one. Besides UVB, a lot of problems captive bred iguanas have is not getting the proper nutrition. So I will do a whole nother video just focusing on nutrition for iguanas, but I'm going to give you a quick rundown in this video. So iguanas are strictly herbivores, which means they only eat plants, no animal protein. So they need veggies, fruits, greens, and plant-based protein. So I aim for 50-50 veggies and greens with a little bit of fruit. Or you could think of it as 45-45 greens and veggies and 10% fruit. So basically you want equal greens to veggies and a little bit of fruit. They should be fed every day, and you want to make sure at the end of the day your iguana does have food left over. They're one of those species that will eat until they're full, and when they're full they stop, unlike me. I like my food, and I am the worst when it comes to self-control. You hand me that king-size Kit Kat, I'm gonna eat that king-size Kit Kat. No joke though, that's what I did yesterday. If you come home from work and there's no food in there, go ahead and throw in more food. That's what I do. If I come home from work, come home from the zoo, and he doesn't have food left in his plate thingy, then I'll run downstairs, grab more, cut it up, and throw it in, and he'll eat whatever he wants. So a big part of iguana nutrition is the calcium to phosphorus ratio. You want a 2-to-1 ratio. This is where the Green Iguana Society comes in super handy, because they actually have a chart of all of the foods and what the ratio is. You want foods that are higher in calcium than phosphorus, aka the 2-to-1. This is another thing that plays into UVB and producing calcium and metabolic bone disease. So everything is all kind of connected and entwined. So you just want to make sure you're giving your iguanas the best care and trying to match everything they need as much as possible to avoid any kind of health issues. You also want to provide a variety. So if I give you a salad every day that was just spinach, tomato, and carrots, you would get so sick of it. You wouldn't want to eat it anymore. You would be miserable. So providing a variety every day, switching it up, maybe giving parsnip one day, squash another day, or like a blueberry here and then some strawberry here. It'll keep your iguanas happy and enjoying their food. So another thing that many reptile keepers may have heard is providing calcium with the meals, whether it be a spray or dusting. And if you're giving your iguanas the proper care that they should be getting and the proper nutrition, you really don't need to worry about additional calcium, because you don't want too much calcium. This is where it gets really complicated. Another reason they shouldn't be beginner pets. You want more calcium than phosphorus, but you don't want too much calcium, because that can cause a whole nother group of problems. So as long as you're providing the right care for your iguana, you should be okay to only add additional calcium maybe like once a week, twice a week. I have a calcium spray that I got for Arcadius when he was dealing with his metabolic bone disease. So he was very low on calcium, needed a lot of extra calcium. So I was spraying his food every day. Now I just do once a week. And the spray I got is calcium only. most of the calcium supplements you buy at the pet store have D3 in it. Your iguana is already producing D3 if it has UVB, so you don't really want to push extra D3. So the best thing is to try to find calcium that does not have that D3 in it, because then you are just simply providing calcium. I will try to find the one that I bought and put a link for it in the description below. So I'm just going to end this video with a couple things to think about when you're getting your iguana. Just some last minute preparations. So obviously make sure you have an enclosure ready to go when you bring home your iguana. Also think about where you are getting your iguana from. If it's a shelter, a pet store, a breeder, whatever it is, try to figure out what kind of care it has been receiving. Otherwise you're going to end up with a iguana with health issues like I did. Although I went in knowing there's a good chance that he had metabolic bone disease, I just didn't know how bad it was going to be. So if you want to try to avoid the health issues, try to do your research and ask questions. Also make sure that you have a vet lined up. Just like a dog or cat, iguana should be checked once a year at the vet. Arcadius is actually due for a vet visit. I got lucky, there was a vet back home who does do reptiles. He just doesn't advertise it. So we were going to him a lot when I got him because we were dealing with his metabolic bone disease. Now I'm back at school in the city, so we have lots of exotic vets here. So we got super lucky. Yeah, so just making sure that you have a vet lined up. Part of the reason I got into YouTube was to talk about iguanas and iguana care, because not a lot of people do. You don't see a lot of people on YouTube that have iguanas or even talk about them at all. So I felt like there was a bit of a void in the pet tube industry when it came to iguanas. So I wanted to shed some light in that area. So don't forget to subscribe to my channel so you don't miss any more videos. Give this video a thumbs up if you like iguanas, if you like Arcadius, if you thought this was informational, or just any other reason. And maybe hit that notification bell so you don't miss any more videos.
Here we go. Let's find out what you think. Oh boy, you gonna dig right in? Here's my girl.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Jessica. I'm the furry family coach. Thank you so much for being here. In this video, we're going to be making a recipe from Dr. Judy Morgan's book, Yin and Yang Nutrition for Dogs. I love this book, and there are so many great recipes. It covers so many health disorders, feeding for personality type, feeding hot and cold foods, warm foods, so many wonderful things about traditional Chinese medicine. We're feeding for health instead of using medication, or along with using medication. Definitely consult your veterinarian. Dr. Judy Morgan also does consultations, so that's another great option. But we're going to be making a recipe out of this book. In the description below, you will find a link to get your own copy of this book. Today I'm going to be making a recipe for my dog. So my dog Kim, you've seen her in lots of videos on this channel. She normally eats and answers raw food diet, and that's just a typical everyday meal for her. But dogs, just like us humans, really, it would be best if we didn't eat the exact same meal every single day of our lives. Now, Answers is a wonderful company. They make amazing foods, fully balanced. I know that Kim is getting all of the nutrition that she needs, but it's okay to switch things up every once in a while, just to give her something different to eat. And so in this video, we're actually going to be making the Earth diet, because Kim is an Earth dog based on the fact that she has a yellow coat. So it says here, yellow or tan coated dogs are generally Earth animals, tending towards obesity and a friendly, mellow attitude. An example would be a yellow Labrador Retriever, or my dog Kim. Earth is ruled by digestion. Digestion feeds the muscles which support the body. Imbalances will predispose these animals to digestive disorders, anorexia, vomiting, diarrhea, constipation, obesity, muscle atrophy, weakness of the limbs, edema, chronic hemorrhage. Dampness is the enemy of the earth and digestion. Warming, drying herbs can be added to any diet to nurture this element, such as cinnamon, garlic, ginger, turmeric. Yellow foods feed this element. Recommended foods include green tripe, lamb, chicken, pumpkin, sweet potato. It also says non-GMO corn, but my family and I stay away from corn, so we're not going to be feeding corn. Avoid processed foods like you would with any animal, including yourself. Avoid processed foods like feeds like. These animals should have rumen, green tripe, and spleen included in their diet. These animals benefit from massage and muscle strengthening exercises. So that's just one tiny little excerpt from this amazing book. Again, there is a link in the description below to grab your copy. That way you can create a meal plan for your dog based on their specific needs. This book has healthy diets, weight loss diets, treating skin, damp, heat, let's see. Diet to build liver blood, liver disorders, pancreas disorders. There's even recipes for bone broth. So many wonderful things. It teaches you about hot, cold, warm, neutral foods, and I really recommend it. So definitely grab your copy. But let's get right into this video and making this meal for my dog Kim. This is an incredibly simple recipe. There's literally only 5 ingredients. It is a recipe that I wouldn't necessarily feed her every single day, but on occasion, this is gonna be perfectly fine. What we're gonna do is start out with 1 pound of lamb. Now, you could use chicken. The recipe actually says 1 pound of chicken or lamb, and if you're gonna feed this raw, you can include the bone. I have decided, because Kim eats raw meals every day normally, that I'm gonna go ahead and cook this for her just to give her something a little bit different. So we're gonna start out with 1 pound, and I picked up some ground lamb. If you can't find lamb that's already ground, you can ask your butcher, or you can grind it yourself if you have a meat grinder. I know the KitchenAid mixer has a meat grinder attachment, so that might be something to look into if you need to grind meat often. I'll put a link below to the grinder. I do think it's gonna be good for grinding meat, not necessarily bone, so just so you know that going in, definitely do your research based on what you need. So let me go ahead and get this lamb opened up. Okay, so in my large bowl, I'm gonna take 1 pound of ground lamb. Again, the recipe says lamb or chicken, so I just happen to be able to find lamb at my local grocery store. If you can't, you can use chicken. So I've got my ground lamb, and then it says 8 ounces of either sweet potato, butternut squash, or fresh pumpkin, cubed or processed. So I don't know about you, but my dog is pretty picky about eating vegetables. She will eat sweet potato, especially if it's mashed. But I decided, instead of cubing it for this recipe, I went ahead and I used the grater to make it kind of smaller, so it's gonna wind up blending into the meat a little bit better. So I've got an 8-ounce sweet potato, and then we're gonna take 4 ounces of dark leafy greens, chopped or processed, kale, spinach, collards, mustard, or dandelion greens. Based on what was available at my local grocery store, I went with spinach, and I did chop that up. And we're gonna add 2 ounces of shiitake, maitake, or reishi mushrooms, chopped or processed. So I had shiitake mushrooms available at my local grocery store, and I did chop them up pretty fine. So I'm gonna go ahead and add that to the bowl. And then the 5th and final ingredient is 1 teaspoon of ground dried either cinnamon or ginger, and I decided to go with ginger. So let's get that added. So now all we're gonna do is mix these 5 ingredients, and I'm gonna mix them with my hands. If you have a mixer that you would like to use that's good for mixing meat and vegetables, you can do that. I'm just gonna use my hands to try to get everything blended together. Now, according to the recipe, Dr. Morgan says, You can grind all of this and mix it together. You can cook it at 325 degrees Fahrenheit for 30 to 45 minutes in a loaf or square baking pan. You can also cook it on low in a slow cooker for 4 to 6 hours, or you can just go ahead and feed it raw. And if you have a dog who is not terribly picky about veggies specifically, then I would encourage you to go ahead and feed it raw. There's nothing wrong with that. There is also included in this book, because this is the #1 thing I get asked when I do recipe videos on YouTube, is how much to feed my dog. So included in this book, again, the link for this book is in the description below. There is a recommended feeding chart. And she does remind you in the book to feed based on ideal weight and not necessarily current weight. So if your dog is, say, 24 pounds, but you know your vet has told you that their ideal weight is, say, 21 pounds, then you would feed for 21 pounds and not 24 pounds. So that's kind of how that goes. But as I'm mixing and blending this all together, of course my hands are going to get messy, and that's okay. That's what soap and water is for. But while I'm mixing this all together, I do want to know why you clicked on this video. Go ahead and scroll down to the comment section below this video. I would love to know what brought you to this video. Let me know about you and your dog's situation, what you have going on. I love when people decide to go ahead and make food for their dog, because I know from experience it's not a far cry from going ahead and switching completely to a fresh food diet, which is ideal for your dog. I have a lot of videos on my channel about feeding a fresh food diet, including a playlist I created when my husband and I decided to take our dogs completely raw. So we transitioned them completely to a raw food diet. So I have a whole playlist about all the things we were learning as we made that transition. So I would definitely recommend you checking that out if you are in that mode where you're like, I know I need to feed my dog a better diet. Definitely check out that playlist. I'll link it in the description below. So now I think I've got this blended pretty well together. So I'm going to go ahead and wash my hands. And while I'm doing that, if you haven't already, comment below and let me know what drew you to this video. I'd love for you to do that. I also want to encourage you to join the group, join the family. There's a link in the description below. We are all waiting for you. There are thousands of pet parents just like you who are in this group. Whether you are joining for advice or encouragement on transitioning your dog to a fresh food diet, or if you need help with positive reinforcement dog training, we've got you covered. So definitely check out the group so that you can introduce yourself a little more properly and let us help you if you need the help. Again, that link is in the description below. So I'm going to go ahead and wash my hands and we'll continue with this video. Okay, now that I've got clean hands, what we're going to do is take our mixture and move it into a baking dish, because I have decided that I'm going to put it in the oven for that 30 to 45 minutes, because dinner is not too far away. Kim's going to be hungry and want dinner. So I'm going to put this in the oven. Again, you could feed this raw. I know my dog, I know that she is not a huge veggie lover. So for me, trying to feed this to her raw, don't think would go over very well. So I am going to cook it and get those veggies cooked into the meat, and then we'll go from there. So I've just got it in a baking dish now, my glass baking dish. I love this baking dish. It is so versatile. It's not too big, it's not too small. I use it for cakes, I use it for brownies. Obviously, I use it for pup loaf, or actually, Dr. Judy Morgan is very well known for her pup loaf. That's like one of her most famous recipes, which is why I chose not to make it tonight, because I wanted to make something a little bit different for you guys at home. I'll go ahead and call this pup loaf for purposes of this baking dish. So I will also link this baking dish down in the description for you as well, because it literally is just like pretty much the only baking dish I go for anymore. So let me go ahead and pop this in the oven, 325 degrees Fahrenheit for anybody who may be outside of the United States, it's going to be in Fahrenheit, in 30 to 45 minutes, and I'll meet you right back here. All right, so we have got our earth diet out of the oven. So now all that's left to do is let it cool off and we can feed it. So I don't think I would recommend feeding this every day forever, but as part of a balanced over time diet, absolutely this is going to be a great addition to what you're feeding your dog. I know there's no organ meat in this, and there's also, I'm not sure if there's enough calcium in this, but for it to be a fully balanced diet, to be able to feed it every single day. However, like I said at the beginning of the video, Kim eats Answer's pet food. She gets a fully balanced raw diet every single day, so giving her a treat like this every once in a while is not going to hurt anything at all. This is going to be a great addition to what she's already eating every other day of the week, and it's really a good change of pace for your dog to change up what they're eating. And if you balance over time, even better. Go ahead and throw this into the rotation if you have an earth dog, of course. And if you don't, or if you just want to check out everything else in Dr. Judy Morgan's book, make sure to check out the link in the description below to grab yourself a copy. I definitely recommend you checking it out. There are tons of great recipes in here depending on, and she breaks it all out by personality types, cold versus hot, warm, neutral, foods to feed. If your dog has a medical condition like maybe pancreatitis or liver failure or kidney failure or whatever may be going on with your dog, there are lots of great recipes in here for you to check out. And like I said before, there's also a feeding guide in here. So, but I know a lot of people ask me whenever I post a video how much to feed. There is a feeding guide in here. So make sure you check out the link in the description. Get your copy of the book. I absolutely love it, and I know you will too. So let's let this cool off and give it to Kim.
Here we go. Let's find out what you think. Oh boy, you gonna dig right in? Here's my girl. Take that, baby.
Alright guys, thank you so much for being here in this video with me. If you have any questions at all, please post them in the comments below. Don't forget to check out the link in the description to Dr. Judy Morgan's book where I got this recipe. If you haven't already, look down there at that subscribe button. If it is red, go ahead and click it. When you do, it'll turn gray. When that happens, a bell will appear. Click the bell, select all notifications. That way YouTube can notify you every single time I post a new video. Also, don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up. Share it if you have somebody who that you know would love to partake in this recipe with their dog. Oh, real quick before I go, there is going to be another video popping up right about here. I definitely recommend you checking that out. It's going to help build that bond between you and your dog. So go ahead and click that video next. Thank you again so much for being here, and I will see you in our next video.
What is up, YouTube, and welcome to another Crib Zone excursion. If you guys enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that thumbs up, subscribe for more. And in this one, anytime I have Crypto on a long leash, his attention towards me is pretty much non-existent. We're about to answer the long question: does a training collar work on my Siberian Husky? Most dog collars are pretty much identical. We have the controller, the charging cables for both power outlet, the collar itself. Then we have the tester to make sure that the collar is working, some different size prongs. Let's go ahead and put the dog collar on him. Sit, stay. When you're attaching the dog collar to your dog, you don't want to attach the leash to the training collar itself. Right under the gorge, which is their throat. So right there. That's how the collar looks on him. I do have the longest prongs attached. The collar itself only has one button, the power on button. As far as the remote, this thing has 3 different modes which are indicated on the screen. There is a sound mode. The noise mode should work as a warning for your dog to gain their attention. The next mode is the vibrate mode. The third and final mode would have to be the shock mode. There's different levels. If you have a smaller dog, you would use the smaller prongs as well as a lower level. KZE, how do I find my desired level? Start off in 0, slowly increment the voltage. As soon as you see your dog react to it, that's the level you should start off in. That's exactly what I'm about to do. We're on 7, which is pretty low. This thing goes up to 100. You want your dog to be pretty calm while he's doing this so you can notice their reaction. Say, we have the mode on 50 and it seems like he did notice. A little walkthrough of the remote itself. They have a mode either to switch from one training collar to another. They have a light. The Y is to actually activate. The mode button switches between 3 modes. Now that we've pretty much gone over the functions and the buttons of the remotes, let's go ahead and show you some practical things you can actually use the training collar for. We're going to start off introducing this thing to the dog using the most simple dog command, which is the sit command. To introduce the device, you could either go straight to shock or you can start off in beep or vibrate. I'm gonna start off in vibrate since I felt like that had most effect on Crypto. Holding the leash and the transmitter on one hand, we're gonna go ahead and give the dog the command while we press the stimulation button. Sit, sit, sit. Good boy. As soon as they accomplish your desired action, which was to sit, go ahead and release them and let them free, as well as praise your dog. You want to introduce the collar and make sure things are always fun for your dog. That's why it's very important you figure out what level your dog actually reacts to the transmitter. Let's try again. It is recommended to have a slightly longer leash just so your dog can feel slightly more independent. We're gonna try the sit command again. Sit. God, boy, you're free. You're free. The most difficult part is going to be for you to gain your dog's initial interest. Let's keep practicing the sit command. This is for sure the easiest way to introduce the training collar to your dog. Sit. Good boy. Crypto. Sit. Sit. Good boy. Good boy. You're free. You're free. That's pretty much the sit command. Just keep repeating that. Let's move on to the second training command. For the second command, probably the most important command, the come command. Not see you. Pretty self-explanatory. Once your dog walks away, such as now, we're gonna go ahead and activate the stimulation button. With a little bit of tugging on the leash, we're gonna give him the command, and as soon as he starts coming towards us, we're gonna stop the stimulation button. So here we go. Come here. Come here. Nope. Good boy. Good boy. Okay, he did that one pretty good. Boy, you're such a good boy. As soon as your dog starts walking away, hold the stimulation button and say the command. Come here. Good. Good boy. Oh. Good boy, Crypto. Sit. Sit. Good boy. Good boy. You're free. Of course, all of this is going to take a bunch of practice and time with your dog. Okay, this is a perfect time. Unwanted behavior. If you're trying to use this training collar to avoid unwanted behavior, all you would want to do is press the stimulation button. As soon as your dog stops, release the stimulation button. You don't want to praise your dog. You don't want to do anything when they're doing wrong behaviors. So just release the button and leave it at that. Let's go ahead and try out the shock mode now. A good level for a dog this type would be around level 45. Let's try and recall him on shock mode. Come here. Come here. Good boy. Good boy. No. No. Good boy. Sit. Sit. Good boy. I do notice he's kicking a ton. Like I said, with training, he'll get more accustomed to the collar. He won't try and act up towards it. Sit. Good. Sit. Good boy. Normally, if I'm trying to get this dog to sit down, I would usually either pull on his harness or his leash. You want to keep the training sessions nice and short. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take this dog for a nice little quick run. You want to go run? Yeah. Of course, the dog notices that the training collar is there. For best results, it's always best to have a collar instead of a harness on while you're training your dog. You're not supposed to attach the leash to the training collar. You're supposed to have a separate non-metallic dog collar attached to your dog. You should always be trying to improve your dog's behavior as well as improving yourself. Look at me. Speak. Good. Speak. Darn. Oh, KZE, KZE, why does my dog piss so much? Why does he donkey kick? The reason why dogs piss a lot is to mark their territory. So you can say that's part of dominance. Look how bougie Crypto's tail is. That's dominance. When a dog pulls in front of you is dominance. There's a lot of ways that a dog expresses dominance. Crypto is a very dominant dog. KZE, KZE, you should correct Crypto's behaviors. I wouldn't be able to train Crypto myself. I would always recommend taking your dog to a professional dog trainer. But the way this dog grew up pulling me since 1 year old. Him leading, being in the front by itself is gonna really boost his ego. Brady. He wants to go into there. Look at me. Go. But hey, go, Crypto, go! Oh, KZE, my dog doesn't run because he stops everywhere to piss. What can I do? When a dog pisses all the time, it's probably the biggest turnoff for me in a dog. The fruit is really good at doing that. That's the reason the fruit never goes out. Also because he's really old and he limps. The fruit's all kinds of messed up. His time is coming. I know a lot of you guys love that fruit. Wait for your dog to piss. It's natural instinct for your dog to want to piss and mark his territory. So just let the dog be a dog. As soon as a dog feels any type of tugging towards the leash, they will go against it. As soon as the dog starts to pull like so, just stop and go around them. This is something you can practice. Just practice this. This is a really nice exercise. It teaches your dog that they should be paying attention to you and the way you want to go. Is that Lobo? Is that Lobo? If you guys enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that thumbs up, subscribe for more.
How to take care of a Pomeranian. Pomeranians' Poms are cute little dogs with big personalities. They are extroverted yet docile and affectionate, love to play and even make good watchdogs. In general, Poms are healthy and robust dogs. However, your Pom will need lots of care from you so he can live a long and healthy life. Training your Pomeranian. Be firm and consistent. Although Poms are eager to learn new things and aim to please, they are also very independent. You will need to be gentle, yet firm and consistent when training your Pom so he knows you are in charge. Poorly trained Poms can end up developing what's called the small dog syndrome. The dog believes he is the leader of the pack. This syndrome can lead to serious behavioral problems, greater than without proper training. Your little Pom could end up running the household and turning into a tiny terror. Poorly trained Poms can end up developing what's called the small dog syndrome. The dog believes he is the leader of the pack. This syndrome can lead to serious behavioral problems. Without proper training, your little Pom could end up running the household and turning into a tiny terror. Enroll your puppy Pom in a puppy kindergarten class. If your Pom is a puppy, you should start training him as soon as you can. Enrolling him in a puppy kindergarten will teach him basic socialization skills that will help him mature into a well-rounded dog. Ref 7, class equals, reference, aria label equals, link to reference 7, greater than. In addition to puppy kindergarten class, socialize your puppy Pom by exposing him to different people, sights and sounds. This will get him comfortable with his new environment and teach him how to act properly in different situations. As your Pom grows older, enroll him in an obedience training class to teach him to follow basic commands, such as sit and stay. Potty train your Pom. If you have a puppy, it will be critical to house train him. Potty training can take up to several months, so be patient with your puppy as he learns the proper place to relieve himself. It is best to train your puppy to go outside, and to let him choose his own spot to go. To get your puppy on a consistent routine of going outside to relieve himself, take him outside after certain activities, such as 20 minutes after eating and 20 minutes before bedtime. Although it may be tempting to do indoor house training on pee pads or newspaper, it can be challenging, since your Pom may not like being forced to use a pee pad in a spot he didn't choose himself. If you and your family members are gone for long periods of time, more than 8 hours, it may be more practical for you to leave an indoor area for your Pom that contains a pee pad and a few other creature comforts: bed, food and water bowls, toys. Remember, though, that your Pom may relieve himself in a place other than the pee pad. A good rule of thumb to remember is that a puppy can hold off from going to the bathroom for 1 hour per pound of body weight. For example, if your puppy is 2 pounds, he can hold it for about 2 hours. To get your puppy on a consistent routine of going outside to relieve himself, take him outside after certain activities, such as 20 minutes after eating and 20 minutes before bedtime. Although it may be tempting to do indoor house training on pee pads or newspaper, it can be challenging, since your Pom may not like being forced to use a pee pad in a spot he didn't choose himself. If you and your family members are gone for long periods of time, more than 8 hours, it may be more practical for you to leave an indoor area for your Pom that contains a pee pad and a few other creature comforts: bed, food and water bowls, toys. Remember, though, that your Pom may relieve himself in a place other than the pee pad. A good rule of thumb to remember is that a puppy can hold off from going to the bathroom for 1 hour per pound of body weight. For example, if your puppy is 2 pounds, he can hold it for about 2 hours. Crate train your Pom. Crate training is a great method to train your puppy Pom. The crate not only keeps him safe from potential dangers, but can also keep him out of trouble when you're not home. In addition, since Poms can be very difficult to house train, crate training is a good alternative. Crate training may take some time, especially since Pom puppies can be willful and stubborn. Visit your local pet store to select a crate size and design that will be comfortable for your Pom. When done properly, crate training will allow your Pom to see the crate as a place of safety, not punishment. Crate training involves introducing your Pom to the crate, feeding him inside of it, and gradually leaving him in the crate for longer periods of time, including at night. Rewarding your Pom with verbal praise and extra treats will encourage him to see the crate as something positive. Crate training may take some time, especially since Pom puppies can be willful and stubborn. Visit your local pet store to select a crate size and design that will be comfortable for your Pom. When done properly, crate training will allow your Pom to see the crate as a place of safety, not punishment. Crate training involves introducing your Pom to the crate, feeding him inside of it, and gradually leaving him in the crate for longer periods of time, including at night. Rewarding your Pom with verbal praise and extra treats will encourage him to see the crate as something positive. Train your Pom to sleep at night. When you first bring your Pom home, you may notice that his sleep schedule does not align with yours. It can take some time for a dog to adjust to the sleep pattern of his owner, so be patient with your Pom as you train him to sleep at night. Create a comfortable area for your Pom puppy to sleep. Make this area easily accessible to your Pom so he can rest there at any time of day. He may feel isolated and stay awake at night if he associates the rest area only with the dark. In the evenings, dim the lights and turn down the noise on the TV so your Pom knows that it's time to go sleep. Do not rush to your Pom if he whines and barks during the night. If you do this, he will associate his noise with getting attention from you, which will certainly affect your sleep quality. Let him soothe himself back to sleep. Puppy Poms typically sleep 18 to 20 hours a day. Adult Poms usually sleep 12 to 14 hours a day, including a few naps during the day. Create a comfortable area for your Pom puppy to sleep. Make this area easily accessible to your Pom so he can rest there at any time of day. He may feel isolated and stay awake at night if he associates the rest area only with the dark. In the evenings, dim the lights and turn down the noise on the TV so your Pom knows that it's time to go sleep. Do not rush to your Pom if he whines and barks during the night. If you do this, he will associate his noise with getting attention from you, which will certainly affect your sleep quality. Let him soothe himself back to sleep. Puppy Poms typically sleep 18 to 20 hours a day. Adult Poms usually sleep 12 to 14 hours a day, including a few naps during the day. Control your Poms barking. Poms bark a lot and have a surprisingly loud bark, making them great watchdogs. However, Poms do not always know when to stop barking, which can turn the barking into more of a nuisance than anything else. It is important for you to train your Pom not to bark. Training your Pom dog not to bark begins with teaching him how to bark on command. When you have your Pom's attention, give a short verbal command, speak, bark, and let him bark a few times. Hold a treat in front of his nose and let him have the treat when he stops barking. When your Pom responds to the command to bark, give him a command to stop barking quiet. After a few repetitions and rewards for not barking, your Pom will learn when to bark and when not to bark. Training your Pom dog not to bark begins with teaching him how to bark on command. When you have your Pom's attention, give a short verbal command, speak, bark, and let him bark a few times. Hold a treat in front of his nose and let him have the treat when he stops barking. When your Pom responds to the command to bark, give him a command to stop barking quiet. After a few repetitions and rewards for not barking, your Pom will learn when to bark and when not to bark. Leash train your Pom. Poms have a lot of energy and love to go out on long walks. Daily walks are an important way to give your Pom the exercise he needs. To make the walking experience more enjoyable for the both of you, train him to walk properly on a leash. Your Pom puppy will need some time getting used to the leash before you put it on him. Let him sniff and explore the leash. It can be helpful to carry treats with you during the first few times you are leash training your Pom. Reward him with a treat when he doesn't pull on the leash. Your puppy Pom may want to pull on the leash. Rather than yanking on the leash, stand still or start walking in the other direction. If he decides to lie down during the walk, call him to you and give him a treat when he comes. How to take care of a runt puppy. Most people call the smallest pup in a litter a runt. In this sense, a runt doesn't need any more care than its larger littermates. However, a true runt, or a newborn pup that's significantly underweight, weak, or underdeveloped, needs extra attention. Runts are often rejected by their mothers or unable to nurse, so you'll likely need to hand feed your little pup. In addition to making sure it gains weight, keep it warm and hydrated. Work with the vet throughout the pup's first few months of life to give it the best chances of thriving. Helping the puppy gain weight. Check if the pup is nursing. The biggest danger a newborn runt faces is being rejected by its mother when it tries to nurse. After the pups are born, start observing them while they nurse. If the smallest can't get to a teat, you might have to start hand feeding it yourself. Sometimes the mother will help a runt latch onto a teat. If she ignores the pup, pick up the puppy and bring it to her teat. If the puppy still won't latch or if the mother refuses to nurse the puppy, you'll have to hand feed it. Sometimes the mother will help a runt latch onto a teat. If she ignores the pup, pick up the puppy and bring it to her teat. If the puppy still won't latch or if the mother refuses to nurse the puppy, you'll have to hand feed it. Feed the pup with a bottle if it can suckle. If the pup can suckle, you can just feed it every 2 to 3 hours with a pet nurser bottle. The pup will suckle until it's full, then reject the bottle. If possible, put on a pair of surgical gloves and squeeze milk from the mother's teat into a sterile cup, then transfer the milk to the bottle. If you can't express milk from the mother by hand, ask the vet for puppy milk substitute or buy it from a pet store. Talk to your vet for more advice. If you can't express milk from the mother by hand, ask the vet for puppy milk substitute or buy it from a pet store. Talk to your vet for more advice. Learn how to tube feed the pup if necessary. Tube feeding with a syringe and catheter is necessary when a newborn puppy is too weak to suckle. Gently insert the catheter into the pup's mouth and allow the pup to reflexively swallow it. Then, slowly depress the syringe plunger for 3 seconds, or until you've given it about half of the milk. Make sure there's no milk bubbling out of the puppy's nose. Rub its belly to burp it after feeding it the first half, then give it the rest of the meal. Before feeding the puppy yourself, have a vet or vet technician show you the proper technique. Have them demonstrate the process and provide you with the right-sized equipment. If you do not do this, you may risk harming the puppy by accidentally pushing food into its lungs. This can cause drowning or pneumonia. Make sure there's no milk bubbling out of the puppy's nose. Rub its belly to burp it after feeding it the first half, then give it the rest of the meal. Before feeding the puppy yourself, have a vet or vet technician show you the proper technique. Have them demonstrate the process and provide you with the right-sized equipment. If you do not do this, you may risk harming the puppy by accidentally pushing food into its lungs. This can cause drowning or pneumonia. Feed the puppy colostrum within the first 24 hours. After giving birth, the mother produces a liquid filled with antibodies called colostrum. If the pup hasn't nursed within the first day after being born, it won't receive these antibodies and will have a weak immune system. If you can't express colostrum from the mother within the first several hours after delivery, ask the vet for a supply. If you're a breeder, it's a good idea to get a supply of colostrum from the vet just before the litter is born. If you can't express colostrum from the mother within the first several hours after delivery, ask the vet for a supply. If you're a breeder, it's a good idea to get a supply of colostrum from the vet just before the litter is born. Help the pup eliminate after feeding it. Newborn puppies can't go to the bathroom on their own, so their mother licks their rear end to help them eliminate. If the runt's mother has rejected it, you'll need to stimulate its elimination reflex until it's 3 weeks old. After feeding it, gently stroke the area around its anus with a warm, damp cotton ball or soft cloth. Weigh the pup daily. After birth, a runt puppy generally weighs around 25% less than its littermates. You'll need to monitor its weight every day for at least a month to make sure it's getting proper nourishment. Its weight should increase by 5 to 10% per day, and its birth weight should triple after 3 weeks. Call the vet if your pup isn't gaining weight. If all goes well after a month of weighing it daily, you can switch to weighing it weekly. Invest in a digital gram scale, and check its accuracy by weighing an object with a known, constant weight. Call the vet if your pup isn't gaining weight. If all goes well after a month of weighing it daily, you can switch to weighing it weekly. Invest in a digital gram scale, and check its accuracy by weighing an object with a known, constant weight. Start weaning the puppy around 3.5 weeks. To start weaning, blend high-calorie dry puppy food with milk or puppy milk substitute. Offer it in a bowl, and allow the pup to check it out and start nibbling. Over the course of 3 weeks, gradually decrease the amount of milk you use and the time you spend blending the mush. By 7 weeks, the pup should just eat dry food and drink water. Continue to monitor its weight during the weaning process. If it loses weight, call the vet. By 7 weeks, the pup should just eat dry food and drink water. Continue to monitor its weight during the weaning process. If it loses weight, call the vet.
Hi everyone, so I'm trying to speak over the guinea pigs weekend because they're so loud at the minute. Today I wanted to show you some updates I've done in my bedroom, aka the pet room. So here is the new setup. This is quite a big change from last time you've seen it. Pingu's in the same place. Pingu is my hamster, if you don't know. And then the skinny pigs have swapped places with the gerbils. The gerbils are still in the same habitat, but the skinny pigs are in a new cage. I'm just going to go feed them because they are so hungry right now. There you go, there's your breakfast. I need to find a better way to fix this little border thing off. Fit it up here. Oh. So basically, they were living in a pet shop cage before, which was a good size. It just wasn't very easy to clean, and it wasn't the best for interacting with them and watching them. So I moved them into a CNC cage, which I absolutely love because it's just so much easier to interact with them, keep an eye on them, clean them. Everything is 100 times easier. And this is, it equates to the same size as the pet shop cage, maybe a tiny bit bigger. It is, well, it's not exactly 120 by 60, it's about 110 by 75 or something, so it does sort of equate to about 120 by 60, which is a suitable size for two. Even though it is 3 by 2 grids, it does actually work out to this space. Plus they have an upper level, and also I'm going to be letting them free range once I've added a ramp to get them to the ground level. So yeah, as I said, stay tuned till the end for that. So we'll probably start off with Pingu's arrangement because he's up at the minute and I want to make the most of him actually being awake. So Pingu lives in an IKEA Detolf, very popular hamster home. So I know a lot of people keep their hamsters in the IKEA Detolf. So yeah, it's a really great habitat. And it is a display cabinet, but very easy to modify to a hamster home. And I kept the tops of some old cages which fit perfectly on here. It's the Furplast Junior, I think. I have two different types. One that came with like this bar section here, and another one which just has this plastic top bit. So yeah, he seems to love his setup. It's really great that he can have different levels to explore because he just likes to climb up things. Underneath here is just this old playpen which makes it secure, and then on top of that I have this wood type stuff coated with like a plastic, so it's basically waterproof. Here you go, Pingu. It hasn't worked out that I've got one in my hand. There you go. Aww. So this has 4 boxes and it's mainly just for like storing away pet things. So here is like all my food ingredients I use to make up their food. Then in here is where I store their food, and then the next one is plastic toys for the hamsters and gerbils and wooden toys for the hamsters and gerbils. I've also got some sand there. This is where I keep the hay for the guinea pigs, in this woven basket there. You're gonna go play with something rather than just chew. I might have to take these bars out actually and just make it like this one because he has a bit of a habit of chewing. So now moving on to the skinny pigs. Well, I've already kind of showed you basically, but I have it lined out with Corex underneath here. This is their fleece area. Then this area they have Megazorb on the ground, and this just makes it easier for me to clean. They've got their hammock there which they love to sleep on, hay rack, bendy logs bridge, and this super long tunnel. I joined 2 of them together actually using these cable ties, and they just love going up and down this. Hopefully they'll do it later so you can see. And they have a few fleecy items like this snuggly thing, and then they have a stool which basically holds up the tunnel. Another fleecy house here which they absolutely love. This is their favourite. So yeah, that's pretty much it. And they have their bottle down there. And I will be showing you at the end, as I said, how I'm going to get them up and down so they can have free range time. Have you stopped chewing at last? Finally, I wanted to show you the gerbils setup. So the gerbils were previously up here, the skinny pigs were previously down here, but I wanted to switch, and I feel like with the skinny pigs it's better for them to be higher up for me to interact with them, and with the gerbils, because this lid is so big, it was a nightmare to get on and off when it was up there, and I just feel like it's better for me to interact with them when they're down here, plus it's a really good view of them, so I kind of like how it is now, and I think they seem to be really enjoying it. Look at Pingu. He just fell off. That's just a classic Pingu moment. He has a tendency to fall off things all the time. So I'm hoping the gerbils will wake up soon. I might have to go and wake them up because they're sleeping right now. I didn't think you were going to get up. I'm glad they finally got up. I'm not sure where Sooty is, but yeah, this is Milo. Ah. Yeah, I just wanted to say I have actually just published my care guide, which is petspalacecareguide.com. So any pet related things, any sort of questions you have, anything, any pet care information you're wanting to research, you will find most things for rabbits, guinea pigs, gerbils and hamsters on there. I have spent a lot of time lately, that's why I've not really been as active on YouTube, because I've been spending the last few days just constantly working on my website and getting it published, but I'm really happy with how it's turned out, so hopefully you guys can maybe give me some feedback, let me know what you like, what you think could be improved about it, and yeah, just your thoughts really, so that'd be really great if you could let me know what you think of that. Oh, he's having a wash. Also, fun fact, all the animals in here are actually male. That was not planned, it just turned out that way. So yeah, all of them are male, which is quite interesting as well, because most of the animals outside are actually female, seeing as the majority of the guinea pigs are female. Sooty's just woke up as well, that's really good. Hello. See, I've had oh, he's going to escape. I've had these gerbils since December now, and I was hoping to work on taming a bit more. Well, he's probably going to climb in the guinea pig's cage. So I was hoping to work on taming them a bit more, seeing as they've been here for quite a few months now, so yeah, and I think with rearranging the setup, this is going to make it so much easier for me to interact with them and to watch them, because gerbils are really great pets for watching rather than cuddling or handling as such, but they are so much fun, they're so entertaining to watch, so I'm quite happy with how things have turned out. They just had their habitat cleaned yesterday, so this is all brand new for them. He's chewing up that toilet roll tube now. So that's pretty much all that I have to share with you, and I'm now going to be showing you how I make the ramp for the skinny pig's cage. So yeah, hope you've enjoyed the tour, and yeah, I'll just go and show you how I've made the ramp. To make the ramp, you're going to need a big block of wood. Wider is better, so this size as opposed to this size. You'll need some garden border edging, which you can find at garden centres. Then some different types of hooks, these sort of hooks. A few CNC grids, which will bend, and possibly some pliers, depending on how you want to bend it. Hot glue gun, scissors, cable ties, and some fleece. Once you find a piece of wood that fits the length of the edging, then you're good to go. Alternatively, you can take these bits of wood off the wire and stick them on individually to make little ridges all the way up, but because this one is fixed on, I'm just going to be leaving it as it is. The wire sticks out too much, so the wood blocks aren't going to stick to the super glue or to the hot glue. So what I'm going to do is take this bit of wire stuff and I'm going to bend it round, and then I'm going to hook it onto there and cable tie it. So you're going to want one of these, I don't know what they're called, but it looks like that. And then you're going to want a a small screw. So you can see this here. I'm just going to hook this bit of wire over there, then cable tie it. You can see there's 2 pre-drilled holes at the bottom here. I'm just going to hook these bits of wire through and then tie them on the other side. So the ramp is finally finished.
Hey.
Don't hate me.
Hey.
No?
Hey.
No? Tell me what you're doing today.
Hey! In big, bold, italic letters. I am not pregnant, okay? If I was, I would let you know. Now that we have that out of the way. One of Julian's least favorite things about me is that I baby the dogs. I'll show you baby the dogs. I thought it would be fun. Like, yeah, if I was Shane Dawson and I had access to 1-800-RENT-A-BABY for a day, yeah, maybe we could hang out with the baby for a little. That'd be great. That'd be super fun. I don't have that. I don't know how he just finds babies to rent for the day. But what we can do is go to Babies R Us, get some stuff for the dogs, and turn them into babies. For no reason. I just want to get like baby clothes, put some diapers on them. I want a high chair. I saw a video of dogs that have this disorder where they have to eat in a high chair, and now I'm obsessed with the idea of putting one of my dogs in a high chair and feeding them some baby food. Are we gonna have to assemble a high chair? That's super annoying. I don't want to do that.
What does that mean? I have to do it?
Yeah.
What?
This video doesn't need to exist. I just want it to. Okay. I just want to see Carmen in a high chair. Don't you?
Yeah, not...
Look at him. He wants his own chair to eat in. Yes, he does.
You don't
I think
know that.
Marbles will probably sit this video out. Let's go to
Baby's R Us. It's going out of business.
We got here just in time. Let's do clothes last, because I feel like we can spend a long time.
Yeah, okay. Oh my god. My breast friend. Oh, you're my breast friend.
Don't do that. Oh, this is comfortable and it has a thing. And then
You could put Kermit on that.
He would love
Just so he can kiss you on the mouth.
You know who would love this?
Marble. Get that. You can walk around with him.
Yeah, this is a great invention.
When being a baby hits.
Let's get moves. A girl one and a boy one. You want to pick one out for Weech?
Yeah, this one. This is for Peach.
Let's...
What the...
You know...
This is Kermit.
Why don't we get a bottle? Can they drink nut milk?
We can just put chicken stock in the bottle.
Okay, that's disgusting.
They would like it.
Ew.
Want to get one of those?
Yeah. We'll figure it out. Let's go. All I'm saying is that it's worth a shot.
Want one of these?
Yeah.
As long as I can put Peach on my back.
Oh, he looks comfortable as hell.
Oh shit, bitch.
Oh, where is your baby? Oh.
Boo. What is that?
It's a marble playpen. We can put him in there.
Marble doesn't play. He doesn't know how to play.
He does play.
He licks you and he snaps at me. That's his whole life.
Marble playpen.
And he barks.
Marble playpen.
No, not marble playpen. Baby MMA arenas. Okay, you know.
This is the one that my nephew has.
I know.
Why don't we get one for Weechi?
This is for a baby.
What do you think we're doing? Stop. I'm browsing. This one's like that boat ride.
Otter. Otter, you just walked by the high chairs. What the?
Will you help me pick one out? I don't know what I'm doing. How do you even fit a child in here? Does it
Let's pull it out. It's on wheels. Look.
Find a cheap one, or we're gonna have to fucking assemble it.
How does it feel to be a new mom?
My children are 9 and 7.
Why are you here now? You're late. Stylish diapers for every season.
Every season?
Good sale.
Sad.
You know whose fault it is that they're going out of business? Specifically that kid. I got diapers.
This one is brown rice and peas, which they can eat.
Chicken flavored baby formula. Did we do okay?
I don't fucking know. Alright, here we go, baby. Like onesies that snap in the bottom.
She's too big.
No, she isn't. I mean, girth-wise, she's very girthy. What about this for Wormy? It's got sleeves. He loves sleeves.
Oh my god, he's gonna lose his mind.
Go away. How's it going?
This thing is way more confusing than it looks.
You've been struggling and banging over here an awful lot. You came home with all this stuff and you haven't figured out what it is yet. Are you gonna be a baby? You're never allowed to say that I'm babying the dogs after this, because this is truly babying the dogs. So I say we put them in their clothes first. And then basically we're just gonna feed him in a high chair, I guess, right? Carmi, I'm so sorry. It's gonna be mildly inconvenient for you, but it's not, everything's gonna be okay. Shall I come over there and put this diaper on you, bud?
Bring him right up here.
I'm not gonna be able to put it on him. I'm gonna have to lay him on his back.
Alright, Kermit.
I don't know if this is gonna fit him. We should have gotten bigger diapers. Here you go, bud. How's that? It doesn't really cover your weenus. But how do you feel? Oh, wow. How's that feel, bud? A little weird? I think this is the day when he's finally had it with my shit. Yes, you can poopy, but you can't go number 1 or else it's just gonna squirt up at your chest. We gotta get your outfit on, bud. I know really like shirts too much.
You know, what are we doing?
We're just having a day, all right? Just like any other day. I know that's a very long sleeve because it's for a human baby. That's a very good boy. It's a perfect fit just for Cermits.
Just long sleeves.
Wow. Okay. What do you think? Maybe is baby feeling? I think he actually likes it. Like, you know how he usually freaks out when we put him in clothes? Like, something about the diaper just like made him kind of happy. Oh, yes, I kind of like it. It covers my bottom. You're not feeling so insecure about your weenus, huh? Do you maybe want something to eat? Give me my breastfeeding pillow. You like that?
Is it supporting him at all?
Yeah, this thing is actually so helpful. And you can, it's like a little
He looks
shelf.
really comfortable too.
Kermie, why don't we start with a bottle? I just asked Google if dogs can have almond milk, and it said in moderation it's okay. Here, bud. It's up for your bib. Okay, like, is it just me, or is he like, he's actually kind of like enjoying this a little bit? You want some milk? Ooh, we got a lick. What do you think about a peanut butter bottle? You like that, Kermie? All right, should we save some for Peachy then? So we don't have to, oh, I dripped it into his nose. I'm sorry, did you just snort it? That's nasty. What do you think? You want some food? When we usually put clothes on him, he gets really pissed off, but he's like completely relaxed. Like, I'm telling you, I think it has something to do with like the covering of his like butt and genitals has like made him very relaxed. Okay, bud, you gotta get your little legs in there. Okay, 1, there you go. There you go. Okay, bud. Why does he like this? He's like actually enjoying himself. Look at this. That is disgusting. Do you want, this is actually like a really nice way to feed your dog because we have 3 And if one of them doesn't finish early enough, they'll fight. So we can feed one of them at the table. Was that good? Is that nice?
Kurt, did you think this was gonna happen today?
Ooh, big bite. All right, get the bottom. Peach is so jealous right now. Peach, you'll have a turn, but you need to wear the outfit and sit in the chair. Wow. Is that good?
Oh, I think Kermit passed the baby test. Like he's a perfect infant. Because he normally hates any sort of clothing at all. He even hates harnesses. But he likes...
Oh, you want some more? Okay,
Is he crying?
honey. Here you go, bud. You want some more food? Okay. There he is.
10 out of 10.
I think you're done eating, Kermit. Why don't we take you out? We can put you in here. Do you want to come be with Mommy? Look, he's got food on his mouth. All right, we're gonna wipe your food off under your bib. Wow. Look at his diaper. All right, honey, you're gonna have to roach. Yeah. I'm gonna roach your little legs. I mean, this isn't that new. You kind of do this stuff with Mommy all the time. That's for the sun. See, Julian, this is babying the dogs. I don't do this. He's such a happy boy. Have you reached your final form? Infant. I'm tired and old, want to be babied forever now, thank you. Yes, am human baby. Am actually a human baby.
He's very happy.
We might be a different species, but he's my baby.
Enough, baby.
Oh, he loves it. Peachy, it's finally your turn, baby girl. What do you want to do? Just stand around and be nervous? That's fine, you can do that. Carmi, okay?
Come here, baby. God, they have such weird shaped butts.
That's not gonna fit her. Peachy, you thick, girl.
You're thick, baby.
Oh, that looks so nice on you, little lady. Are you excited? Julian picked up, oh God, she really does look like a baby. All right,
baby.
Now we're gonna put you in the outfit that Daddy picked out for you.
Now we're gonna wrap this around your bum.
She's just like truly giving up. She doesn't even care.
She's falling asleep.
Peachy girl.
Hello.
What do you think, baby?
Hello, baby. What is that?
I mean, that's a little dramatic, baby. Wow. Hello? You just demanded to sit up here.
Your daddy's first draft pick.
Oh,
Good girl. It's my daughter.
Wait, did she like the milk or just the peanut butter?
Squirted her mouth. Wow, good thing we have a bib. It's all messy now. You ready for dinner?
You ready for
Ready for
dinner?
dinner?
Oh!
You good, baby? You ready for some nasty? Choo choo. Choo choo. Choo choo. Oh my God. Good baby. This is how you do a gourmet meal for babies.
Oh, whoa.
Look at that schmear.
Peachy girl, was that fun? Are you having a good time?
Come on, sweet stuff.
Oh my God.
Tell me this isn't functional.
It actually is. Isn't it comfortable though?
Yeah, it is. Come on, just give me a good one. You burp all the time.
All right, she looks a little floppy in there now.
Release!
Oh my God.
Look at the girl!
Yeah, it's like a little marble shelf. And Mommy doesn't have to hold you. Mommy
Look
can
at the
do
babies.
it.
Hey, babies, get out of here, babies. It's pretty much identical to how he exists now.
Ooh. Well, this was very fun. This doesn't need to exist. I feel like this shouldn't be a thing. I just think it's really funny how much Kermit genuinely has enjoyed himself today. Honestly, I'm keeping this high chair. You always say that I babied the dogs, but you're not allowed to say that anymore because this is babying the dogs.
I'll just say it past tense. You babied the dogs.
Got food on you, babe. Why is everyone crying? They want this baby food.
Yeah, I know.
You act like we don't feed you. I love you. I hope you enjoyed us making our dogs into babies for a day. What I learned was Kermit actually is a human baby.
Which we pretty much already know.
Make sure you subscribe to my channel. I put out new videos every Wednesday/Thursday. Why don't we just leave this in the kitchen like this?
No.
Yeah, and
No,
then
it takes up so much space.
They
No
can
way.
they can sit right here.
No.
How about this? We get a second one, and then we
Okay,
can all
you
sit at
know,
the table together.
no,
Look at
they're
him.
on the
He's
floor.
enjoying
He goes on
himself.
the floor.
He's enjoying himself, and
goes
he
on the
deserves
floor.
it.
He goes on the floor.
No, he deserves.
He goes on the.
He deserves to sit at the table and
deserves-
enjoy himself. He deserves to relax. There you go.
Oh my God.
All right, I'll see you guys next week. Bye.